Hey y'all, welcome back to Smiley Said It. On today's episode, I have a little surprise. Like I said, I was gonna have for my next movie review, and it is this beauty. Look at this. I made her in honor of Midsummer. I want to talk about Dani and her boyfriend, her ain't shit boyfriend, Christian. Let's get into the characters of the movie Midsummer, which is a A24 film. Florence Pugh is Dani, Jack Rayner is Christian, Isabel Grill is Maja, William Jackson Harper is Josh, Will Puder is Mark, Liam Blomgren is Pell. Let's get into the film and let's talk about why Christian and Dani had no business being in a relationship, let alone going all the way to Sweden in order to have the ending that we had. The movie opens up in a fucked up way as it is. We have Dani, who is our protagonist of the movie. So Dani receives a very disturbing email from her sister Terry. For anyone to read that, like, what the fuck? I can't anymore. Everything's black. Mom and dad are coming too. Goodbye. That's what she sent. Emergency. Okay, that's given emergency. I'm calling 911. I'm doing a wellness check.
Police. We need to call the police.
Which eventually happens, and we get the discovery that her sister is no longer with us, or her parents. Dani's sister is bipolar. Like any sister would be, Dani is very concerned. Dani calls Christian, and this is how we get an introduction of this ain't shit guy, okay, that she has as a so-called boyfriend, who doesn't want to be in a relationship with her. He answers the phone, and she asks, hey, can you come by later on? He's hanging out with his friends. He's like, sure. Christian's like, how's the sister situation? Dani's a little bit hesitant to talk about what it is. The situation is her sister is bipolar. She's like, I don't know. I got this weird email from her. I'm concerned. You know what his response is to that? The more you respond, the more she's going to keep doing it. You know how she is. You know how you give in to her. And she's like, yeah, that's my sister. Like, what the fuck? Like, obviously, I'm going to make sure my sister is good because she's not. And I'm sorry that it's a disruption to whatever the hell you got going on in your life where your girlfriend has a sister that's going through something and you don't care for it. Like, what? Christian is already gaslighting Dani's experience of having a sister that is relying on her to some extent for whatever it is, you know, that we know so far in the movie. Instead of being more empathetic, Christian is more like annoyed. Like, how would you feel if you received an email by your sibling saying what is said in the email? That's crazy to me. When there is silence on the phone, you can tell that Dani tries to take up the empty space, like the silence of the conversation, by putting in fillers. And she's like, you know, well, I'll see you later. I love you. Does he say I love you back? No. Christian doesn't even respond with I love you too, even after what she said about her sister. Dani goes, I'm lucky to have you. Thank you. I love you so much. And he's like, yep. Okay. Like, why are you there, sir? You are useless. You are useless. Like, I would melt into oblivion if I literally told someone, hey, I love you. I'm so happy that you're in my life, da-da-da. And that is their response. Like, kick his ass to the curb, girl. Stand up. Stand up. Like, the long pauses in between the conversations was so awkward. I felt the awkwardness through the phone. Like, why are you sighing after your girlfriend just told you that she loves you? Like, what is there to be annoyed by? Oh, I know why. He don't want to be with her. And he plans on breaking up with her. That's why he responded the way that he did. We get to learn that a little bit later on. But yeah, like, he don't want that girl. The awkwardness of being in a relationship with a person and they don't care about you. They've been planning to break up with you for a year because Christian has been planning to break up with Dani for a year. A whole year. You want to talk about a guy that doesn't have balls? It takes you a year to break up with someone, and you have your friends over here being like, why are you not breaking up with her? What's taking so long? Like, come on, like, let's go. And he's like, well, you know, what happens if I break up with her and then later regret it? Like, what if I regret it later on? You want to talk about a selfish piece of shit? You're concerned about what if you need her later on down the road after you regret breaking up with her when She's a full person that has feelings and a life of her own. And you want her to what, be on the back burner, like be on the side waiting for you to like finally realize what you have? Like, no. And this shit bothers me because I've been there before. I've been in Dani's shoes, fighting to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, but they don't say it, but they kind of like breadcrumb you along the way. I don't want to be the person that's like, what are we doing? Where are we going? You don't want to be the woman that's like, what are we doing? Where are we going? I don't understand. Don't ever ask a man, where are we going? As if he is in charge of the relationship. Like, girl, you're not a tree. You can move. You have the ability to speak up and announce and declare what you desire in that relationship. You don't wait for him to like show up in the relationship, because it's not a relationship at that point. Like, you're literally by yourself. You're standing there like an emoji and you're waiting for your partner to say out loud, I don't want you. No, they're not going to do that. They want you to break up with them, so they're not the bad guy. And so that you're the one that ended the relationship, so you really don't have anything to complain about, because you're the one that ended it, even though you ended it because you're not getting what you want from it. Christian wanted to break up with her, but he couldn't because he finds out that her family is no longer here. He has to stick it through because he would be an asshole to break up with his girlfriend after her family died. There's like mixed reviews on that. I mean, if a family tragedy happened, just so happened to be the wrong time where I'm not seeing eye to eye with my partner, if they break up with me, I mean, it is what it is. Does it suck? Yeah. But I would hate for my partner to feel obligated to be in a romantic relationship with me because something bad happened. You can still be there for me. Like, you can still support me and not be in a relationship with me during such hard times. That's all Christian had to do, was say, you know what? I no longer desire to be in this relationship with you. Out of respect for you and myself, I'm going to have to end this, but I will be there for you in this time. I'm not going anywhere. If you need anything from me, you can still contact me. That's a better way and an honest way than to just be like, I really don't want to be here, but I'm just going to be here anyway, while she's like crying her brains out and like going through it. Dani calls her friend afterwards, and her friend is basically saying what I would say to Dani in that moment. Dani's like, I know Christian's gonna end it. I just feel it. I feel like I'm like dragging him down. I feel like I'm putting him in the business of my family, and it's not fair to him. And I understand if he doesn't want to be involved, da 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 da. Her friend is like, what are you talking about? That's your boyfriend. He's supposed to be there for you. And if he doesn't want to be there for you, he should just end it. If you have to always ask for your partner to be there for you and they're sighing and huffing and puffing and whatnot, they're not meant to be your partner. Dani's friend told her, like, you need to confront him. Just confront him about it and talk to him. And then Dani gaslights herself into saying like, oh no, I don't want to be a pest. Like, I don't want to be a burden on him. The moment you feel like you're a burden to your partner by bringing up real life shit, real life scenarios, be a shoulder to cry on. Like, you really want them to just be an ear to listen to, and you feel like you can't because you're going to piss them off, or you're going to like annoy them or bother them. They're not for you. That literally is an indication like that person is not for you, where you can't talk about real life shit outside of someone that is just there. What is the point of the relationship? Dani believes that she is scaring him off. If that's the case, y'all are not going to get past this. Like, you're not going to get married. Y'all are not going to live together. If this is like a hindrance on your relationship, which involves your family and what you got going on, which is a part of you and your identity, it's just not going to go anywhere. So you might as well cut the person off. We're not going to get anywhere. You don't care to like hear my problems. What else is there to continue? Because life will always have problems. Family members pass away. Family members get into situations, and we have to be there for them, or we choose to be there for them. The idea of being afraid to break up with someone in our late 20s, early 30s, we should be old enough to be like, okay, let's have the adult conversation. You can still respect someone and love them and break up with them. It doesn't mean that you hate the person. It doesn't mean that you cheated. It doesn't mean that you even lied. The longer you stay in a relationship that you know is just not working out, the harder it gets to like break up with them, because now you feel obligated. Now you feel bad for the person. Don't feel bad. Like, don't feel bad for breaking up with people that no longer serves what you're looking for. And that's okay. Things end. Most relationships are not meant to be forever. So we have to like be real about that as well. Dani also says to her friend, I'm always leaning into him. He never asks me for anything. Her friend was like, he doesn't ask you for anything. And she's like, no, it's just vibes and shit. Like, what type of relationships do people really be having? You know what I mean? When you really look at the surface, it's just two people that claim to be in a relationship, but there's no relationship. It's just vibes. On Dani's side, there is some codependency because she doesn't know how to navigate how she's approaching a person like Christian. She wants to get Christian to like her the way that she likes Christian, and that's not something that she can do. You can't make somebody like you, respect you, love you the way that you want them to. The moment they show you how they love you or like you is the moment that you accept it, and if it's not what you're looking for or deserve, move on. And it's giving like external validation. People like Dani do not need to be in any relationship unless they're able to find ways of coping with themselves and not trying to fight someone to like see them. Dani needs to have an understanding that you shouldn't have to apologize for wanting your partner to support you. In the moment you see them like frowning their face up, being annoyed, do not chase them. You don't chase them for them to be like empathetic towards your situation. Dani takes Ativan. She's already on prescription. Poor girl. she's just going through it, okay? The movie then cuts to Christian eating with his friends. And yeah, they're pretty much tired of him. They're tired of him and him not breaking up with Dani, and they express it. His friend Mark is the one that's like, when are you gonna break up with her? He's an asshole, but he's realistic, because what friend wants to keep hearing you talk about or complain about your partner and not do anything about it? I, for one, don't care to hear my friends being like, oh, I can't stand him or her. I'm just tired of da-da-da. I'm going to be the friend that's like, okay, we'll break up with them because I'm tired of hearing the shit. If you're not going to do anything about it, why even bother to complain? Christian is conflicted because he's like, I don't know what to do. I would feel bad. He's more stuck on, I want to control the situation where I don't want to lose her, but I don't want her. I don't want her in my space, but I want her to be there waiting for me in case I make the mistake and regret not having her in my life.
What the fuck? What's going on with this shit? Like, who the fuck?
And that's the fucked up part about it. Regrets are for you to handle later on down the road, not for the person to be there waiting for you to come back in the picture and being like, hey, I'm back again. Do you accept me back in your life again? I've dated people that wanted to come back in my life months afterwards, like nothing happened. I don't want you back in my life. Like, what the hell? Move. You're gone for a reason. Once I break up with someone or they break up with me, there's no like rehashing. Whatever the reason was the reason. And I will accept that and keep it moving. It is what it is. I don't know. Dani is not a convenience store where Christian can come back at his own convenience and start shopping for shit in her store, being like, okay, now you're my property. If you can't see the value in me right now, then you're never going to see the value in me afterwards. You don't get the benefit of my growth. You don't get to enjoy the fruits of my labor when you don't want to stick around to see how I watered my fruit to grow. You're not going to be here in the end. So you chose. It's emotional baggage. It's not my baggage. So don't make it my baggage. That is your baggage, sir. Claim your baggage. I'm not claiming it. Waiting a whole fucking year to break up with someone is crazy. And then Mark is like, and then you can find a chick that actually likes to have sex. So you're talking about your sex life with him? About a girl that you no longer have interest in, that is your girlfriend. And now when Dani's around, like, that is messed up. That is so awkward. So y'all not even sexually compatible. You're literally stringing this girl along, Christian. And she has no idea. Maybe she does, I don't know. But If your sex life is not where it should be, then that is something you communicate with. Like, it's not something that you tell your friends. There are certain things like some people will share with their friends, but I'm too old now. I'm not telling my friends about my sex life. Like that, it's just not something you know what I mean? It's very personal to me. It's always been a personal thing. I've never been the type to be like, yeah, my sex life is this and that and it's bad and he's not doing this or she's not doing that. That's none of anybody's business at all. Okay. Besides the person that I'm in a relationship with. While Christian and his friends are at the table, the waitress comes by and kind of gives Christian like this little, like a little flirty look. And of course, Mark is like, so you could be hitting that. So you could be hitting that. Like, what the fuck?
I really appreciate all of y'all, like, from the bottom of my shoelaces. You can't give nobody your heart no more. You can't. You can't give it. I'm not giving it. I'm not fucking giving it. This is the 2000s, bitch. You can't.
Mark has no fucking chill. Then Mark goes, see, that's abuse, because Dani calls him back. And this is where the scene cuts to her family being gone. Dani's sister took herself out and she took her parents out like she said she was going to do in the email. And it is probably one of the most heartbreaking, devastating cries I've heard in a movie. That cry had my bones shaking when I first seen Midsummer. It was horrible. Horrible to hear that cry. Christian goes over, she's resting, and she's crying into his lap all night. She eventually takes a nap. He comes into the room and he's like, hey, I'm going to a party for like 45 minutes. I'm just stepping out real quick. He's like, no, you can rest. And she's like, no, I want to go. And I'm sure to like probably distract herself from what happened and get her mind off of it for a little bit. But who the fuck goes to a party for 45 minutes? And why are you leaving your girlfriend who literally just found out that her parents and her sister is no longer here, and you're like, I'm just gonna step out for 45 minutes to this party I gotta go to, I told them I was gonna go to a party. Ugh, bro, the fuck are you talking about? Again, maybe he was not close with her family where he felt nothing, because I'm like, even if y'all are going through whatever, did you not know her parents? Did you not know her sister? Like, I would feel some type of way and not even think about going to a party. Dani goes to the party with him and it just seems like she's out of it. I mean, who wouldn't be out of it? Like, she's numb. She's numb in that moment, and I would be too. At the party, this is where Dani overhears Christian going to Sweden for the trip and for the PhD research paper that they're doing on the Midsummer culture. She's like, wait, y'all are going to Sweden? You didn't tell me that. He's like, oh no, I'm thinking about it. I didn't say for sure I was going. He already had his ticket booked. Okay, he already had his ticket booked. He's talking about, oh yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I don't know, because his friends were talking about it amongst the group, and she was like sitting there. His friends obviously didn't know that he didn't tell her, so they're just talking about it in the opening. Awkward. Fucking awkward. They got to do research on the tradition of Midsummer 2 weeks from the moment that they talked about it at that party. 2 weeks, which means they've been planning it. The deception of it all. Deceptive Christian and Dani has an awkward car ride back home. Very quiet, very silent. I've been in that situation. Very awkward. Awkward shit goes down and you gotta have a long car ride back to the crib. But when they get to the crib, it's obvious that Dani is bothered, and he's like, what's wrong? Motherfucker, you know what's wrong. Like, why are you making me have to say anything after what the fuck I had to overhear? You're the one that made the plan of going to Sweden without telling me. Why do I have to bring it up? Hello? Of course, Dani's like, I'm fine. No, you're not. Girl, be honest up front, like the first time. Like, why are you making it not a big deal? Like, you're not fine. And it's okay. But of course, she eventually says, you know what? I ain't fine. This ain't fine. That was awkward. And so Dani's like, that was weird. And Christian is like, what do you mean? I don't get it. And then he's like, well, I decided today that I was going to go. And it's like, why the fuck are you lying? And she knows he's lying. But she don't want to be confrontational. But she wants to be confrontational enough where she's like, I I at least want you to understand that I'm upset. They're going to Sweden for a month and a half. A month and a half. You mean to tell me you planned on going to a trip without telling me? And he's like, well, I did tell you about it. And she's like, yeah, you mentioned it in passing, but you didn't like say like, I'm going for sure, let alone for a month and a half. He was going to go and then what? Not tell her like once he was there, like that would have been worse because she just lost her family and she has to deal with a deceptive ass motherfucker that was going to be gone for a month and a half and didn't know until what? Last minute? Come on, bro. She's like, I wish you would have told me. And he's like, oh, now you're picking a fight. And she's like, I'm not trying to pick a fight with you. I just wanted to know. And he's like, yeah, you are picking a fight with me. This is what it is. Like, how are you going to flip the script on me, motherfucker? Like, he literally gaslit the hell out of Dani. That was trash. Like, you're the one that was being deceptive. You're the one that omitted information. You're the one that wasn't transparent or communicated with me during the process of you getting your ticket up until the moment that I had to overhear your friends talk about it at a party that I probably was not going to go to because you try to make it seem like it was just a 45-minute stop by, a little stop through. And of course, Dani gives in and apologizes. Like, why are you apologizing? Girl, like, why are you apologizing? He got you where he wants you to be. He wants you to be the person that started the fight, you know? If you're in a relationship and anytime you bring up concerns or something that bothers you and your partner's like, why are you trying to pick a fight? Me communicating my emotions is not a fight. It's a fight for you because you're taking it as a fight. You don't want to hear what I have to say. You don't want to hear my emotions. You don't care about my concerns about being in this relationship with you. Am I not in the relationship with you? Who else am I supposed to talk to about you besides with you? That is a red flag. You should be able to talk to your partner about anything, even if it might piss them off for a little bit. Who cares? And then Christian goes, well, I apologized. No, you apologized as a way to shut her up. You apologized not sincerely. It wasn't like you apologized for being deceptive. You didn't say why you apologized. You just apologized just to shut her up. And she's not taking that as an apology, which she shouldn't have, but she did. And she's still begging you not to go, not to leave as you're walking away. Oh my God. I'm getting pissed off all over again. Because what the fuck was that? Christian is mad that Dani is staying. He's resenting her. He is literally resenting the fact that she's not breaking up with him. He wants her to. He does not want to be the bad guy. He wants her to finally give in, break down, and say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. You're not giving me what I need. He's going to throw his hands up and be like, oh, you got it. You said you want it to be done. All right, I'm out. And he's going to be out without feeling any way about it. There are people that will resent you for liking them or staying in a relationship with them because they either feel like they don't deserve you or they deserve better, whichever way it is. They're going to resent you for staying in a relationship with them because why are you here? Why do you want me when you know I don't want you? Christian and his friends are hanging out, reading books and shit, and Dani's on her way over. Christian tells his friends, like, Dani's coming. And they're like, what? And he's like, well, she's not actually going. She says she is, but she's not really going. And she ends up wanting to go. And Dani comes up the stairs and walks in. And she's like, is that okay? And they're like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's cool. It's all good. Yeah. They're cold about it. They don't want her to go. But, you know, they're going to allow her to go anyway. So she sits down and talks to Pell. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about what happened with your family, which triggers her to some extent. And she excuses herself to go to the bathroom, which then transitions into her being on a plane, having damn near a panic attack in the bathroom, which was a cool ass scene transition. They arrive in Sweden and the first thing they do, they decided to take some psychedelic mushrooms and they wanted to take the mushrooms, but Mark is like, I want us all to take the mushrooms together so we all trip together and not on separate times. Dani gives in and she's like, okay, I'll take mushrooms with you guys. It's all going good until Mark mentions family, I believe, and she like starts to trip out. That was a crazy trip where the grass is like growing through her hands. That scene was insane. This movie was probably one of the very few films that I've watched where they actually show people tripping out on mushrooms the way that you actually trip on mushrooms. Like the trees breathing. A horror film that's shot in mostly the daytime. Insane. Christian forgets her birthday, but kind of doesn't. He's kind of slick with it. Pal remembers Dani's birthday before Christian does. And he gives her like a drawing for her birthday. And you could tell he's heavily flirting with her for obvious reasons. He wants her to be the queen at the end. Dani doesn't know that. I'm not going to go through the whole movie, right? Bit by bit. I just wanted to talk about the relationship that Dani and Christian had, because a lot of people are in that type of dynamic where they don't know necessarily if they should quit or work through the situation with their partner. What happens to Christian at the end is totally messed up. I mean, I know a lot of people have conflicting opinions about if he deserved what happened to him at the end. To be honest, no. You know, I mean, I just wanted her to break up with him. I didn't want him to burn inside of a bear suit with grease and fat and bear grease and fat and stuff and burning in flames alive where he can't move or scream. That's super dark for anybody. He didn't deserve that. Christian also didn't deserve to be violated the way that he was. He was drugged and SA'd. Dani, seeing what was going on in that room, I'm sure she had the perception of him just cheating on her, or I don't think the movie elaborated on what her point of view was when it came to Christian and the other lady. Well, the multiple ladies, because there was multiple women that did what they did to him. But the scream, oh my God, the anguish, ugh. That scene was fucked up. Let me tell you, because imagine peeping through a hole and seeing your partner having intercourse with multiple people, but not knowing that they were drugged. To be honest, Christian got it really bad out of everybody because he had to witness his friends being plucked off one by one. Christian had it bad the moment he got there, but he was also a shitty friend too. Like, how are you trying to steal your friend's project and your friend's thesis? And he's like, well, we could collaborate. No, I'm not trying to collaborate with you because it's my original idea. You don't get to just take it and then say, well, if you don't want it stolen, you better collaborate with me. What type of threat is that? My PhD? In the end scene where Dani's screaming, but then she looks happy. It's like, oh, we lost our girl. Our girl is gone, honey. My man is gone, but I gained another family, though. She technically did. I mean, aka a cult, but a new family. So nobody really wins in the end. Yeah, Christian definitely didn't win. Like, burned alive. There's so much fat and grease in a bear. What a terrible ending. And if Christian didn't go on that trip, he would be alive. If he didn't go on that trip, Dani would not be a part of a cult right now. Yeah, he should have said no. But yeah, his friends also got it bad. I mean, the eagle death? Oof. If you no longer want to be in a relationship with someone, please break up with them. I think it's a director's cut. It's not in the movie, but there's a cut where they have like an argument where Dani's like basically telling Christian, hey, we need to get the hell up out of here. Like, this is not normal. He's like, you don't appreciate what they have to offer us? You don't see how they're being kind and letting us be here in order to like practice our studies? You don't get it? Why are you being ungrateful?
First of all, what the fuck that's supposed to mean?
If he would have listened to Dani after them people jumped off that ledge, they would all be alive. But he didn't want to listen to her. She was just moaning and crying all as she always do. You put your girlfriend's life at risk and your life at risk after you seen people jumping off willfully and offing themselves. He tells Dani, everything you give me is a reminder that I'm not good enough, which is all projection. And like she told him in that moment, she's like, you've been pulling away and I've been naive about what's been going on. He's like, oh yeah, okay, you got it all figured out. Yeah, okay. And she's like, what? Again, he is tripping her mind into not believing her reality, which is gaslighting. He's making it seem like he don't know what he's doing because she caught on to it. So he's going to make her reality not her reality, even though he agrees with it and even though he's a participant, but he's going to make her seem like the crazy one for misunderstanding how he feels about her, even though he's showing her how he feels about her. It's like she's not even experiencing the relationship that she has with him, and that he's the puppet master that's like trying to like control everything and make it seem like she's just obnoxious and just don't understand what the hell is going on. And he's like, well, you can go, but I'm gonna stay because I did bring you here, but I'm staying here because I have a purpose and I have a reason why I'm staying here. So if you don't want to be here, go. Especially after losing her family and she's witnessing people literally offing themselves, and you're like, oh, well, I got a paper to do. He was so cold in that clip. Like, he literally did not care at all. Poor Dani, man. But anyways, thank you for watching. Trust your gut, trust your instinct. It never lies. Peace, love, and happiness. I'll see you guys in the next video.